The game of hockey is a game of finesse, speed, skill, and oh yeah, a little toughness doesn't hurt either.
Today, we bring you the greatest players in NHL history that have the elusive combination of grit and game.
Stand by for some truculently talented players in this edition of Sportsnet Countdown.
And welcome to Sportsnet Countdown. I'm Evanka Osmak.
And I'm Ken Reid, and today we are counting down the top 25 players in the great game of hockey who combine grit and game.
If you're into just finesse, this show may be not up your alley.
If you're into just toughness, this may not be for you either.
However, if you're into guys who are blessed with finesse and toughness, this is the show for you.
Let's get things started. Here's number 25.
Gerard Gallant.
With a left hand, Brown.
Only 5'10" and 190 pounds, Gallant spent the bulk of his career in Detroit, often playing alongside Steve Yzerman.
Gallant just right across the neck, he slashed at him.
In his best year, he racked up 93 points and 230 penalty minutes.
Number 24, Tiger Williams.
And Bill Smith, the goaltender.
Tiger played for 5 teams over his 14-season career. He scored 241 goals and was assessed more than 66 hours of penalty minutes, making him the NHL's career leader with 3,966 PIMs, more than 400 minutes ahead of his closest competitor.
Tiger Williams is still in a fury and trying to get at the official.
Number 23, Brian Sutter. The first of 6 in the Sutter family to play in the NHL. Brian played most of his career as captain of the St. Louis Blues.
He was chosen to play in 3 All-Star games and spent more than 150 minutes in the penalty box for 6 straight years.
Sutter was there, and he knocked it underneath Bernhardt.
Number 22, Al Secord. Here was another player with more than 2,000 penalty minutes in his career. Secord scored 44 goals during the 1981-82 season, despite spending 303 minutes in the penalty box.
21, John Ferguson.
Many considered you the heavyweight champion of the NHL. Did you ever think about this, or did it mean anything to you?
Well, probably did, Bob. I wanted to be the meanest, dirtiest son of a gun that ever played the game.
And he was. As a Montreal Canadian for 8 years, John Ferguson never registered fewer than 100 penalty minutes. And oh yeah, he won 5 Stanley Cups.
Number 20, Kevin Stevens.
Now Coffey and now Stevens gets involved. Who's he battling with?
Stevens' gritty style led to no shortage of battle scars, but he persevered through 874 NHL games.
Be careful, the big bear is after him.
Showing solid goal-scoring ability along the way.
He twice tallied more than 50 goals in a season, working towards a grand total of 726 career points.
Number 19, Ken Linseman.
Shot, save, rebound, score!
After being nicknamed the Rat by Bobby Clarke in Philadelphia and winning the Stanley Cup in Edmonton, Ken Linseman spent parts of 6 seasons in Boston, where he scored 125 goals while spending 746 minutes in the box. Not to mention, he had 807 career points.
Amazing facts that'll never be shown in the NHL record book. How has Kenny Linseman lived this long playing the way he does?
Number 18, Shane Corson. A gritty power forward, Corson's NHL career lasted 19 seasons and he played with 5 teams. During the 88-89 season, he had 2 hat tricks alongside 193 penalty minutes, on his way to career totals of 273 goals and 2,357 pins.
Number 17, Bob Probert. The best season of Probert's career saw him score 29 goals while serving 398 penalty minutes.
Look out. Oh, did he cork him with that one?
One half of Detroit's Bruise brothers alongside Joey Kosher. Probert brought his goal-scoring ability to the role of enforcer, tallying 20 or more goals twice during his time with the Wings.
Number 16, Terry O'Reilly. He earned the nickname Bloody O'Reilly during his 14-season career in Boston. O'Reilly was also chosen to play in 2 All-Star games, and he spent 2 years as the captain of the Bruins, recording as many as 90 points in a single season. Boston has since retired his number.
For the Bruins, decides to play tough. Looks like he's trying to jab at Claxton with his stick there.
Love Terry O'Reilly at number 16. Back in 77-78, his Boston Bruins had 11 guys who scored 20 or more goals. O'Reilly sniped 29, Osmak.
How about that? Kenny Reid, always thinking.
Always.
But sometimes I ask myself when we work together, what were you thinking?
You do ask that a lot.
And that's a perfect segue into our next segment. What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Debut for the Avalanche against San Jose. Wow! Oh my goodness, it's in! The Avalanche, Cody McLeod, a seemingly harmless little floater to the front of the net, and it goes in, and the Avalanche lead 1-0.
You watch, you see Johansson come through, and Whiteman's just standing there. He gets run over. He goes to the bench, and those are big-time collisions, Doc. Those don't tickle.
And here's doing our commercial break. Watch the Fisher. I don't want my gum anymore. I'm going to put it under my chair. Well, no, not under the chair, but on the glass. David Keon Jr., you can't put that there. I can't see.
And the Leafs are just running out of time here. Slow start. Ottawa didn't even get a shot on goal in the first 13 minutes, and this one's headed for the net, and it's 5-2.
That's Mark McArthur who actually put it in.
And who's going to get the goal?
Was it McCulloch who was next to him? I didn't pick it up.
Nonetheless.
It's just a play along the wall and right past Gunnarsson, right into the gaping net.
And for Adam Henrique is off the mark and unbelievably into the Devils' goal. Unbelievable.
More Grit and Game is on the way here on Sportsnet Countdown. Now, I know your mom, Jeannie, calls your dad Borden the big ball of love, but I'm thinking we may see an appearance from the little ball of hate.
Very smooth, Kenny. Plus, one of the most despised players of all time. He burst onto the scene close to 3 decades ago, but still will get your blood boiling. As we continue to count down the top 25 players who combine grit and game.
We are back on Sportsnet Countdown, and Evanka, Osmak, do you like the soft side of hockey?
Why, yes, I do, Ken.
Do you like the tough side of hockey?
Yes, I do.
Then this show is perfect for you. We're counting down the top 25 players who combine grit and game.
How about that? In the right spot. So let's get back to the countdown. Number 15, and kick it off with a man who not only fought with players, but he managed to tangle with a referee as well.
Ooh. Number 15, Paul Holmgren.
Holmgren is threatening it in, he pokes away, and Russell, Holmgren really took it to Russell, and the scrap is on.
Holmgren spent the bulk of his career with the Philadelphia Flyers, where he aravaged more than 3 penalty minutes per game, while also scoring 30 goals in a single season during his best year.
There he comes with the elbow or the stick. Both been penalized for
An unapologetic enforcer, Holmgren's greatest regret is punching referee Andy Van Hellemond in the chest, an act that led to significant changes in the NHL's rules in an effort to increase referee safety.
The owner of the LA Kings must send him a color TV set.
Number 14, Wendell Clark. A fan favorite in Leafland, he was best known for his 3 stints in Toronto.
They don't want to upset him because we all know what he's done in this league.
Clark launched his career in 2 seasons with the Leafs that saw him score more than 30 goals.
Big shot!
While being assessed at least 200 penalty minutes.
He would never again surpass 200 penalty minutes in his career, shifting his focus to the offensive side of the game. Clark scored 46 goals in his best season with the Leafs and 330 in his career.
125 remaining. in the center. Clark scores! Wendell Clark, third goal of the game.
Number 13, Keith Tkachuk. Spending more than 200 minutes off the ice due to penalties normally puts a dent in a player's goal-scoring ambitions. But Tkachuk found a way to make it work. He scored at least 28 goals in each of his seasons with 200-plus penalty minutes, and he finished his career with 538 goals despite 2,219 minutes in the box.
And ranks 5th all-time.
Number 12, Gary Roberts. Before he started his current career training current and future hockey stars, Roberts played 21 years in the NHL and won the Masterson Award after his return from surgery to repair nerve damage caused by his physical style of play. Roberts scored 5 goals during the Flames' 1989 Stanley Cup run and finished his career with 910 points and 2,560 penalty minutes.
Number 11, Rick Tocchet. Tocchet began his career as a fighter, peaking at 299 penalty minutes during his 4th season with the Flyers.
This is a main event.
His evolution into a power forward took a major step forward the following year when he put together a 45-goal season while reducing his time in the box to 183 minutes. Tocchet joined the Pens in 1992, scoring 6 goals as Pittsburgh went on to repeat as Stanley Cup champs.
Number 10, Pat Verbeek. Nicknamed the Little Ball of Hate by Glenn Healy during his time with the Rangers, Verbeek began his career with the Devils and played parts of 6 seasons with the Hartford Whalers before shorter stints with the Rangers, Stars, and Red Wings. He scored more than 40 goals 4 times in his career, 3 times in seasons where he also registered at least 200 minutes of penalty time.
Number 9.
There's the stick in the guts. Gets a little spear there. It's another spear in the rib. That is 5 minutes for spearing.
Claude Lemieux. Lemieux won the Stanley Cup 4 times on 3 different teams, winning the Conn Smythe Trophy in 1995 with the New Jersey Devils. Lemieux tallied 80 goals alongside 529 penalty minutes in his 18 trips to the postseason, and he was just as effective in the regular season, with 379 goals and 407 assists in a career spanning 21 seasons played with 6 different teams.
Bruins are trying to find the puck. They don't take a man, and Lemieux goes around, finds the rebound.
Number 8, Dale Hunter. During his 19-year NHL career, Hunter played in at least 80 games in 12 separate seasons. Impressive considering his tough style of play that led to more than 3,500 career penalty minutes.
Hunter put up 70 or more points in 6 seasons and more than 1,000 in his career. His jersey number was retired by the Washington Capitals in 2000.
Number 7, Clark Gillies. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2002, Clark Gillies spent 12 years with the Islanders before retiring after 2 years in Buffalo. A key performer on an Islanders team that won 4 consecutive Stanley Cups, Gillies, he took up the role of enforcer, but never stopped scoring. He ended his career with 319 goals and 1,023 penalty minutes.
Number 6, Brendan Shanahan.
McLean, Shanahan scores!
Another gritty Hall of Famer on our list, Shanahan spent 21 years as your prototypical NHL power forward before he retired in 2009.
For the Red Wings, last game of the
Bell and Hall of Fame. He does everything.
Love Rick Tocchet at number 11. He did it on the international stage as well. He was huge for Canada in the '87 Canada Cup against the Russians, especially in Game 3. Really got Canada going with a key goal.
So we know what Tocchet was thinking in '87.
Win.
Win now, that's right. But for every one of those that makes sense moments, there's the what were you thinking moments. Like seriously, time to inject some more humor into the show.
Humor, what were you thinking?
There's Bogosian. He's trying to keep the puck inside the zone. Bergenheim just gives the old alley-oop, and look at goes. And Bogosian, I don't think he even knows for a second that it's gone. He's looking for it on the ice. He's like, okay, that just disappeared in the twilight zone.
Weidman unloads. That's deflected. It'll wind up in that safety netting for a whistle. There's a balloon hovering in the high slot. Party.
Front for Foligno couldn't get a stick on it. In from the point, Phillips. And the door clearly not completely latched in the corner there.
That is not good.
Flying through the door was Jamie McGinn.
You know, looking back, that is a mistake.
Well, so far no harm, no foul, but an early exit from McGinn.
And that's the second post they've hit, and there's Cam Chance.
Low. Watch out with those skates.
Skates, the head's down. They're trying to help him up. He's trying to get.
Hey, Osmak, what are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking, I wonder where your father, Dr. Dan, would land on that countdown.
Number 782.
Good answer. Well, we do still have 5 players that possessed even more grit and game than those other guys. How about these stats? All 5 of them are Hall of Famers.
I'm thinking they combined for 19 Stanley Cups.
Thousands of penalty minutes.
And some pretty sweet nicknames.
That's true. That's also a tease. Those guys coming up after the commercials.
Old-time hockey. Hey, we're back on Sportsnet Countdown, Grit and Game. And Osmak, are you pumped?
Yes, I'm ready.
You're ready because it's time for your top 5. And I'm thinking there's a guy who wasn't in Slapshot, but his name was mentioned a lot in Slapshot, and I'm thinking he just may pop up in our top 5.
Why am I not surprised you dropped a Slapshot reference? Without fail, every show it happens. So let's get back to this show, The Countdown, and let's go to one of the NHL's dynasties, the Montreal Canadiens of the late 70s, to find the man who comes in at numero 5 on our list.
Number 5, Larry Robinson.
Here's Robinson dashing in. Robinson cutting in a goal.
His 6'4" stature earned him the nickname Big Bird, and he used all of his 225 pounds to his advantage over a 20-year career that saw him inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1995.
There we go. 2 big boys, and they're right into the bench.
He won 6 Stanley Cups during his 17 seasons in Montreal, and Big Bird was a reliable and physical defender, holding the highest career plus-minus of any player at an astounding plus 730.
Robinson flattened his man Tonelli over on the other side. What a body check by Robinson.
Number 4, Ted Lindsay. You don't get the nickname Terrible Ted without a bit of grit in your game. But Ted Lindsay was far from a one-sided player. Lindsay was selected to play in 11 All-Star games over the course of 17 seasons in the NHL.
Terrible Ted was not finished.
He led the league at various points in his career in single-season totals for goals, assists, points, and penalty minutes.
He won the Stanley Cup 4 times with Detroit, putting up performances worthy of the Conn Smythe Trophy, which was awarded for the first time in 1965, the year Lindsay retired. He was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame 1 year later.
Number 3, Scott Stevens.
Here's 88. Lindros makes the move, and Lindros is powered down to the ice by Scott Stevens. And Lindros remains down on the ice.
Stevens has the second most penalty minutes of any player in the Hall of Fame. Only Chris Chelios has more. He was enshrined for his performance as captain of the New Jersey Devils.
Winning 3 Stanley Cups for his team and a Conn Smythe Trophy for himself, Stevens spent 13 seasons in New Jersey and the most of any player as a Devils captain.
Stevens one-timer, he scores!
Number 2, Eddie Shore.
On an athletic dog.
Dubbed the Edmonton Express for his end-to-end rushes and old blood and guts after his style of play, Eddie Shore built his name as a fearless defender with a highly physical approach to the game. A 4-time winner of the Hart Trophy, Shore helped the Bruins to 2 Stanley Cups over 10 playoff runs.
Thinking his career was at an end, Shore left the NHL and purchased an AHL team. But the Bruins missed him enough to agree to a deal that would have Shore return to the Bruins, playing only home games.
The Red Wings fans look with confidence to their powerful line of left to right. Ed Lindsay, Dutch rival, and Gordie Howe.
Number 1, Gordie Howe. If this countdown could be summed up in a single statistic, it would be the Gordie Howe hat trick. So it should come as no surprise that Howe, nicknamed Mr. Elbows, tops our list.
A pass for Howe. Then Martin wants right. Here's Gordie Howe going in. He shoots. Goal!
Early in his career, Howe was always up for a fight, knocking out Maurice Richard in his first visit to Montreal.
But as Howe spent more time in the league, he fought less and scored more, leading the NHL in points in 4 straight seasons and 6 times in his career. Howe's Detroit teams won 4 Stanley Cups during his 25 seasons in Motown. Howe played his final NHL game in 1980 at the age of 51, 8 years after he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Howe gets over the line. He's cutting in. He gets set. A backhand. He scores. Gordie Howe.
Love it, Gordie Howe at number 1, and please, please, don't be the person that argues and says, Gordie Howe, number 1, grit and game. Don't do it, he's undisputed.
Gosh, you don't want to upset Ken, who's got no grit or no game. But,
yeah.
Quick joke in there. Okay, you don't want to mess with number 1, but maybe you don't agree with the rest of the countdown, which is only fair. You're allowed to. You can challenge us.
You can. Go to Twitter. Hashtag SN Countdown. Give your thoughts or log on to sportsnet.ca.
And we hope you enjoyed the show just as much as we did. And of course, we'll see you next time. I'm Evanka Osmak.
I'm Ken Reid. See ya.